Let me ask you something. You ever noticed how a younger woman will walk right past the loud, flashy guy and then suddenly becomes soft-spoken and deeply engaged when talking to a calm, older man? It's not a coincidence. It's not about the car he drives or the number in his bank account. Something deeper, something primitive. She feels something around him that she can't explain. It's like gravity, and it pulls her in without force, without noise, without effort. You see, younger women don't crave death. They crave certainty. They crave clarity. They crave a man who knows, who is, and doesn't flinch. In this video, I'm going to reveal the 10 hidden reasons why younger women are secretly drawn to older men. Not because he's chasing them, but because he's living by something she doesn't even understand yet. And that mystery is what makes her chase him. You'll see how calm create is dear, how leadership without control is magnetic, and how setting masculine boundaries can flip the entire power dynamic without you saying a word. These aren't pickup lines. This is psychology. This is Stoic energy in motion. And Anseo understand these 10 reasons. You'll stop trying to impress her and start becoming the man who leaves a mark without even touching her. So, if you've ever wondered why she chooses him, the man with gray around the edges, but steel in his spine, stick around. You're about to see what she really wants, but can't quite say out loud. Reason number 1, they know what they want. Let's get this one. They know what they want straight. Young women don't crave older men because of wrinkles or receding hairlines. They crave certainty. And older men, they often have it in spades. Younger guys tend to fumble in conversation. They second guesses themselves. Try to please say, I don't know. What do you want to eat? Or I just want to do whatever makes you happy. Sounds nice on paper, but in real life, it reeks of indecision. Now contrast that with a man like Alan, 52, divorced, father of 2, owns a small construction business. He meets Maya, 27, at a networking event. She's used to guys her age who brag about crypto, who get awkward when the conversation gets real. But Alan, he's direct. He doesn't over-explain himself. He asks thoughtful questions and doesn't flinch when May throws little tests to see what kind of man he is. When she says, I don't date guys who work too much, Alan smiles and says, that's fine. I don't date women who need 24/7's attention. I'm building something that matters. Boom. Confidence, direction, boundaries. Younger women are drawn to that. Like moths to flame. And it's not just about having a career. It's about knowing who we are and being unapologetic about it. See? A man in his 40s or 50s has already failed. He's made mistakes. He's lost things that mattered. And if he's doneth work, he's come out of it with a sharper sense of what really counts. He doesn't waste time. He doesn't pretend. He's not chasing vibes. He's walking a path. That clarity is magnetic. It's the reason people trust pilots with 10,000 flight hours more than someone fresh out of school. Life experience is you. Presence, and women feel it. They don't always know why they're attracted, but they are. Now, let's bring in some Stoicism. One of the core teachings of Stoicism is living in accordance with nature. That means knowing your role, your purpose, and not letting external chaos shake you. A man who knows what he wants. He embodies this. He's not seeking validation. He's aligned with his mission. Younger women pick up on this in subtle ways. It shows up in how you say no, how you don't overextend, how you set boundaries, not because you're playing games, but because you value your time. Let's take another example. Marcus, 48, a real estate investor. He meets Elena, 26, at a friend's dinner party. She's confident, sarcastic, a little guarded, the kind of woman who's used to being the smartest person in the room. Marcus doesn't try to impress her. He just is who he is. And when she challenges him with something like, so, what's your 5-year plan, old man? He doesn't flinch. He says, same as always. Build all Gacy. Protect peace. Enjoy the hell out of life. What about you, Cheston? No nervous laughter, no oversharing, just calm presence. That is energy that makes her lean in. It's not about manipulation. It's not about pretending to be someone you're not. It's about being so secure in yourself that she feels safe surrendering a little control. Now, here's the catch. None of this works if you don't actually know what you want. You can't fake this. If your life is a mess and you're waiting for a woman to give it structure, she'll sniff that out in minutes. You have to be the mountain, not the wind. So if you're in your 42nd, 52nd, or even 602nd, and you've been wondering if women, your juniors, see you as relevant, understand this? Your value has never been higher if you carry yourself like a man who owns his path. Now, let me ask you this. 1. Choose clarity. Type that in the comments if you're done with indecision and ready to step into this next chapter with strength. And listen, what we're about to talk about next will challenge some beliefs you've probably held for decades. Don't go anywhere. Next one might just flip the way you see attraction forever. 2. Maturity makes her feel safe. Reason number 2. Maturity makes her feel safe. Let's talk about something deeper than looks, deeper than status. Something that runs to the core of every meaningful relationship. Emotional safety. You see, when a younger woman coos an older man, it's rarely just about money or power. She's drawn to is the calm, the steadiness. It's the way a mature man doesn't crumble under pressure. That makes her feel safe, not just physically, but emotionally. Think about it. A man in his 22nd is still figuring himself out, still proving something to the world, still getting angry over texts, not replied. He's impulsive, emotional, and honestly, that kind of chaos might be exciting for a moment, but it's exhausting to live in. Now, picture David, 51, a dentist who's been through a divorce and raised 2 kids. One evening, he's introduced to Sarah, 29, through a mutual friend, a dinner. Someone brings up a controversial topic. Emotions flare. One younger guy at the table raises his voice, starts interrupting. David, just listens. When it's his turn to speak, he pauses, takes a sip of wine, and says calmly, I see where both sides are coming from, but yelling doesn't make a point stronger. It just makes Ithadar to hear. Sarah doesn't say anything at first, but in that moment, something shifts. She's watching a man who can sit in tension without becoming reactive. That stillness speaks louder than any loud voice ever could. This is what maturity brings to the table. A woman can feel when she's with a man how to implode over a disagreement. Who won't storm off or guilt trip or just beckos, he's having a bad day. It's security, and that's sexy. There's also the way mature men handle emotion, not by suppressing it like a robot, but by managing it like a leader. One of the core ideas in Stoicism is that you err not your emotions. You are the master of how you respond. An older man who has internalized this doesn't take every look, every tone, every delay in text and gauze an attack on his ego. He breathes, he assesses, and he acts, not reacts. Younger women notice this. Here's another example. Leon, 48, owns a mid-sized logistics company. He meets Tina, 31, a yoga instructor, at a local wellness event. They go on a few dates. One night, Tina starts testing him a bit. She tells him she ran into her ex, casually adds that they chatted for a while. Now, a less mature man might spiral, start interrogating, get passive-aggressive. But Leon, he just smiles, ansies. Sounds like you've still got an open chapter there. You'll know what to do with that eventually. Let me know when you do. He doesn't. Chase, he goes in panic. And that composure, that groundedness, is precisely why Tina can start to trust him. It tells her, this man won't collapse under pressure. He won't crumble if I push back. He's built to hold space. I know, that's what creates attraction. That's more than skin deep. And you don't get this from reading pickup lines or faking alpha behavior. You earn it through life, through pain, through self-reflection, through letting go of things you used to cling to. That's the version of you she wants to meet. Here's the uncomfortable bluff. Many women today don't feel safe with men, not because of physical * danger, but because of emotional volatility. They've dated guys who get needy, jealous, manipulative. Guys hellos it when something doesn't go their way. So when she meets a man who doesn't need her to calm him down, who doesn't beg for reassurance, who doesn't fall apart the moment things get real, he's like fresh air. She exhales. And in that moment, the wall she's been holding up, it starts to come down. And that's where real intimacy begins. So if you're a man in your 400-second or 500-second watching this, hear me clearly. Your calm is your currency. Your maturity isn't boring, it's rare and it's magnetic. And if you've been doubting your edge, stop because women crave what you've earned. That hard-won, unshakable peace. So let's anchor this in. I lead with calm. Comment that below if you know your stillness is your strength. And in the next part, we're going to talk about something unexpected. Something younger women almost never admit out loud, but it's one of the real reasons they find older men irresistible. You're going to want to hear this. Stay with me. Reason number 3, he doesn't flinch under 3. He doesn't flinch under pressure. Pressure. There's a specific kind of confidence that only comes from experience. It's not loud, it's not showy. It doesn't puff its chest. Just is calm, grounded, and unshaken. And when a younger woman sees that in an older man, it sends a message louder than words. I've been through the storm, and I don't flinch. Here's what makes this so powerful. Pressure reveals your actor. And most people, especially men who haven't faced enough hard truths, crack. They react. They panic. They overcompensate. But a man who's lived, who's seen things fall apart and still stood up again, he's different. Let's meet Hoy, 52. He's a business consult who's been through a corporate collapse, a near divorce, and came out of both stronger, not bitter. One night, he's on a date with Trang, 32, a marketing manager. Halfway through dinner, the waiter spills an entire glass of red wine on his shirt. Everyone near the table next to them gasps. Trang freezes. She expects him to get angry, embarrassed, maybe make a scene. But he just smiles, dabs his shirt with a napkin, and says, well, now I've got a conversation starter for tomorrow. Then her continues their conversation like nothing happened. That moment changes everything. Why? Because women watch how men handle the unexpected. Not just in romantic situations, but in life. They're reading how you react to stress, to challenge, to disrespect, to things beyond your control. And when you don't flinch, when your face doesn't twitch, when you hold eye contact and speak with measured.com, that's when they know this man has backbone. This is especially attractive to younger women because it represents emotional safe-dine leadership. It means if life throws a curveball, you're not going to fall apart and leave her to pick up the pieces. Remember, many younger women have dated men who crumble under emotional weight, who ghost them at the first sign of a deep conversation, who lash out when they're anxious. They've seen volatility. So when she meets someone who keeps his cool in traffic, stays composed when plans change, or doesn't lose his temper when challenged, that's rare. It's magnetic. Stoic philosophy talks about this kind of self-command. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, no outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." Older men through time and trial often embody this truth. They've learned what's worth reacting, toned what's not. Let's go deeper with another example. Min 47, a high school principal, has been seeing my 28 for a few weeks. One night, my brings up ageist. She tells him she bumped into her ex at a bar and he invited her for coffee. A younger man might jump to jealousy, questions, accusations. He'd spiral, feeling threatened. Min Hellisons nods, then says, "You know what's best for you. If coffee helps you Z closure, take it. Just know where I stand." That's not indifference. That's composure. It shows strength of character. Okay? No begging, no games, just clarity. And that restraint, it's intoxicating to someone used to drama. Let's be clear, this doesn't mean being passive. It means having the power to stay calm on purpose. Knowing when to step back, when to assert without aggression, when to let your silence speak louder than anger ever could. It's in the way you pause before you answer. The way your voice stays level even when someone tries to provoke you. The way you make decisions not out of fear or impulse, but from a place of centered intention. And that level of masculine stillness. That's not something a 5-year-old learns from TikTok. It's something earned through hardship, heartbreak, and healing. So, if you're a man in your 400-second, 500-second, or even 60-second, don't underestimate what you bring. Your composure is rare, and it's deeply attractive to women who are tired of emotional chaos. Let's seal this in. I stay unshaken. Drop that in the comments if you know your calm is power. And next, we're going to crack open a truth most men never even realize. Putins, you do. It'll change how you show up in every conversation with her. Stick around. It only gets better from here. For he has masculine energy that doesn't need to. Shout. Reason number 4. He has masculine energy that doesn't need to shout. You ever walk into a room and feel the presence of a man who hasn't even said a word? That quiet confidence, that calm presence, it pulls attention like gravity. That's masculine energy. Noisy, boastful type. The kind that doesn't need to perform, doesn't need validation. The kind that just is. Older men like you, often radiate this energy without even realizing it. Why? Because they've already been through the storms. They've survived heartbreak, built careers, handled losses, and faced responsibilities. They're no longer trying to prove they're men. They already are. Let's look at aerial example. David, 55, had been single for a while after a tough divorce. Even trying to date. Just focusing on his business and his health. Then he met Lisa, 30, at a friend's dinner party. He didn't flirt, he didn't brag, he just listened, spoke slowly, made eye contact, said less but meant more. Later, Lisa admitted something surprising. I don't know why, but I couldn't stop thinking about you. There was just something about you. That something wasn't mystery for mystery's sake. It was powerful restraint. It was the stillness that Stoics like Marcus Aurelius talked about. It's the kind of internal strength that doesn't need external noise. Compare that to a younger guy trying to be the man in the room. Loud jokes, talking over others, flashy stories. Sometimes it works momentarily, but it doesn't stay with her because it's performative. And women can feel the difference. High-value women, especially younger ones seeking something deeper, are magnetically drawn to a man who leads with calm. A man holds space, a man who doesn't flinch under pressure or scramble to impress. This is Stoicism in action. A true Stoic knows that masculinity isn't found in domination, but in self-mastery. He doesn't need to be right to be loud, or to win approval. His approval comes from within. His actions speak. His silence speaks louder. And that silence, it's not emptiness. It's intentional. It gives space for the other person to lean in, to wonder, to be curious. Chris, 48, told me once that during a date, a woman told him, "You're dangerous." Not because he did anything wrong, but asterisk because he didn't react. She tried teasing him, testing him. He just smiled. She was hooked. "You're not like other guys," she whispered. That wasn't a line. It was recognition. When your energy is contained, when it doesn't leak into nervous chatter, over-explaining, or trying to entertain you, shift from being just another guy to being the man she remembers. Masculine energy isn't aggression, it's direction. It's the slow, firm gaze that says, "I see you, but I'm not chasing you." It's the deep breath that grounds a conversation. It's the strength to walk away when boundaries are tested. Younger women crave that because in a world full of digital noise and emotional chaos, your quiet strength is rare, and rare is irresistible. So I fear an older man watching this, hear this clearly. You don't have to compete with youth. You win with presence. You don't have to be loud. You win with depth. You don't have to force attraction. You become the magnet by doing less, but being more. Now, let's stamp this lesson into your mindset. Drop a comment and write, "I lead in silence." 3 words that say everything about the man you are. And if that resonated with you, wait until the next reason. Let's just say when you withhold your availability, she starts fighting for your attention. See you there. Reason number 5. He doesn't need her 5. He doesn't need her to feel complete. There's a powerful shift that happens when a man stops needing a woman and starts choosing her. It's a shift from dependence to confidence, from chasing to leading. And younger women, they feel this difference immediately. Many younger guys, whether they realize it or not, are still seeking validation. They want a girlfriend to profess something to the world, or worse, to fix something broken inside themselves. That kind of energy is heavy, it's clingy, and eventually it becomes repelling. Be told her men, especially the ones who've done the inner work. Don't approach women from a place of lack. They don't need her to complete them because they're already whole. Their life has structure. Their identity is solid. Their emotional world isn't chaotic. Let me give you an example. Mark, 52, divorced for 7 years, owns a modest but successful landscaping business in Oregon. He met Kelsey, 29, during a community art event. She was vibrant, creative, and drawn to Mark's centered energy. Here's what stood out to her. Mark never over-initiated. He didn't text her constantly. He didn't adjust his entire schedule around her. He didn't drop everything the second she replied. And at first that confused her, but then it intrigued her. And finally, it attracted her deeply. Because Mark's life was already full. He had purpose. He had friendships. He had peace. Kelsey didn't complete him. She complimented him. This is where Stoicism comes in. Stoic man understands that his happiness cannot hinge on external factors, including relationships. The Roman philosopher Epictetus said it best. Happiness and freedom begin with a clear understanding of one principle. Some things are within our control and some things are not. You can't control how Simeon feels about you. You can control how grounded you are. You can control how you live with or without her. Women, especially younger women who are constantly surrounded by emotionalityness, can feel this grounded energy like a tuning fork. They know when a man sees them as a beautiful addition to his life, not the missing piece of his puzzle. This also means you don't lose yourself when she pulls back. You don't panic. You don't beg. Why? Because your self-worth doesn't come from her approval. It comes from your actions, your mission, your self-respect. Another case, Robert, 49, recently widowed. Spent 2 years rebuilding his emotional foundation before stepping back into dating. When he met Jenner, 32, he told her plainly, "I enjoy your company, but my peace is non-negotiable." That honesty, that firmness, Jenna found it intoxicating. Why? Because women feel safe with a man who doesn't emotionally unravel, who isn't grasping, who doesn't flinch when she takes space. That unattached calm signals strength. It's like this. When you stop treating her attention like oxygen, she starts wondering why. And when she wonders why, that is when she gets curious, intrigued, and eventually invested. Now, let's get brutally honest. This boundary is hard to fake. Deep down, you do feel like you need her to validate you. She will pick up on it. That's why the work starts inside. Build the life, health wounds, stand solid, and then invite someone in, not to fix you, but to witness you. So remember, a man who doesn't need her is 10 times more attractive than the man who tries to prove he's worthy of her love. Let her want you, not because you're chasing, but because you're centered. If you feel this truth in your bones, drop a comment below that says, "I choose, I don't chase." Say it, mean it, and live it. And if you think this made her lean in, just wait. What happens when your calm energy collides with chaos? That's where things get electric. Stay sharp. See we in the next part. Reason number 6. Speaks to her mind before her body. 6. He speaks to her mind before her body. Let's talk about something most men miss when it comes to attraction, especially with younger women. Many guys go straight for the obvious, the compliments, the playful touch, the physical cues. But what most of them don't realize is real attraction doesn't start with the body. It starts with the mind. There's a quiet power in the man who doesn't rush in, who isn't scanning her dress or rehearsing pickup lines in his head. He's present. He watches Hellisons, and when he finally speaks, it's not a hollow flirt. It's something that makes her stop and think. That's rare, and in a world where most men are quick to consume, a man who leads with depth becomes magnetic. Take John 52, a project manager from Denver. He met Sophia, 28, at a wine tasting event. While most guys around her tried to be charming or funny, John just leaned in and asked, "What makes you feel most alive outside this place?" That wasn't a line. It was a real question, one that told her, this man is different. Sophia later admitted she felt seen, not just looked at. She wasn't another pretty face to him. She was a human being with thoughts and curiosity. And that stirred something in her she didn't expect. Desire rooted in respect, craving rooted in connection. And that's the secret. When a woman feels mentally, emotionally safe, and fully seen, the physical part becomes 10 times more powerful. You haven't just activated her body, you've sparked her imagination. Stoic philosophy teaches us to be ruled by impulse, but to respond with intention, and that a pleasure. A man who operates from Stoic principles doesn't chase instant gratification. He values meaning. He's not looking to win her. He's exploring who she is. That shift in mindset is everything. Now picture someone like David, 58, divorced, rebuilding his life and rediscovering himself. He's dating again, but not chasing youth or validation. One evening he meets Hannah, 31, a graphic designer at a gallery opening. As they talk, he doesn't compliment her appearance. He says instead, "You've got a sharp eye. I can tell you see things people miss." That one line, it lands. It tells her this man pays attention. He's not here for games. It's tuned in. And that's incredibly attractive. Younger women aren't just looking for a man with money or a stable career. They crave substance. They want a man who stimulates the mind before he ever thinks about touching the body. Because if that creates a tension, a delicious, drawn-out anticipation. It's a kind of connection that isn't rushed but earned. And older men like you, are in Onique's position to embody this. You've got the life experience, the emotional maturity, the calm presence. You don't need to fill every silence with noise. You don't need to prove anything. When you speak, it matters. When you ask, she listens. When you see her beyond the surface, she remembers you long after the night ends. You don't have to chase or impress. You just have to be real and let your words show your depth. If you've ever had a conversation where she leaned in a little closer, smiled differently, paused longer than usual. Know what I'm talking about? That's not just chemistry. That's connection. That's you reaching her mind before you ever touch her skin. So here's the truth. Speak with substance. Questions that mean something. Compliment her thoughts, not just her hair. Show her that you're not like the others and she'll feel it, not just in her head, but in her gut. That's when attraction becomes inevitable. If you believe this is the kind of man you are or the kind of man you're becoming, go ahead and drop this in the comments. Lead with depth. And remember, some men chase moments, but the wise man builds gravity. And what you're about to discover in the next part, let's just say she won't see it coming. Stay with me. Reason number 7, his silence has 7. His silence has wait. Let's get real about something. Most guys underestimate silence. We live in a world that tells men to always speak, always be entertaining, always say something clever. But the man who can sit comfortably in silence, the one who doesn't rush to fill every pause with noise, that man stands out. Because a lens, when it comes from the right man, doesn't feel empty. It feels encored. Let me tell you about Peter, 49, from Austin, divorced for 4 years, working in finance. He recently started dating again and met Lisa, 32, an ambitious yoga instructor. Their first dinner wasn't loud. There weren't any over-the-top jokes or non-stop banter. But what was there was presence. At one point, Lisa told him something vulnerable. About her past, Peter didn't rush in with advice.